Whether or not it is on time, I am going to claim I am on time. It's close enough anyway. So yeah, it seems like it started. No frame drops. I also have GPU metrics now because I'm so fancy. My GPU is very hot. It maybe I thought it needs thermal paste. Perhaps it's from 2016. This GPU, so it's entirely possible it's a good idea to change that. But it is staying at a fairly decent temperature. Yes, this was unplanned, but I did want to run this image through a bit, and so I'm going to do that on stream, because why not? Yes, I have also got the Persona music, because it's the best I could think of at this time. I always seem to find music, somehow. So, there's something I wanted to test before we get into this. I did just change this. I tried to change one of the commands so it would hopefully work within the lore and everything of the channel. I can always try restarting stream avatars if it does nothing and seeing if that helps. I do actually need to clone this though. Art glove, yes, I've got my art glove. It is working, that's good. So the whole lore of the channel is just about set up now. I like how it's ask again later. Like, you know, I'm not gonna tell you if your command is working. So we've got SF2 final, which is Sakura frame 2. We've got the lasso. Because I'm lazy, I'm just gonna copy this stuff into a new layer. And then try and use that. So Control C, and I think if I go Control V, yeah, it'll make a new layer. So we'll make this Sakura frame 3. Yeah, you should be able to see this on the live stream. Get rid of copy. Like, this is probably the easiest way I can do it. Because we've got a clone of that part now, which is the part I want to reuse of all of them. So we can probably deselect this. We can go... No, I don't want to save yet. Although I do probably need to create more backups so I don't lose my stuff, because I spend a lot of time on this. And I just don't want to take the chance. There we go. So that is something. You see, it's the belt, really, and the skirt. I've just spent so long perfecting them. And there's still pieces at the bottom I haven't actually cleared up. So that's something. I could try and trim those later. For now, I don't know. I'm gonna need Sakura frame 3, which is this. Yeah, you can see how much of a mess that is, hopefully. That's why I'm redrawing these frames. Because it gets so much cleaner on the final thing in terms of line art. Okay, this is interesting. So I've had it like flow back a little. So if I just remove the finals. So we've got 2. Okay, so I think I can see what needs to go on there. I think it needs to... Yeah, I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing where this stuff needs to go. So we've got Sakura frame 1. So which way is the motion going when we go to 3? I'm just trying to work this out, so it's going to take a short amount of time to check it. Okay, so we've got that kind of leaning back. We've got this leaning up a little, I think, yeah. So basically, I think the skirt needs to somewhat straighten up, apart from on the left where it's like angled like that instead of like straight. So that's something that I need to do. So I'm going to have to keep that open in the background. I'll lock it so it doesn't mess with that layer. I can also lock this one just to be safe. Because locking basically just stops you editing stuff. I'm going to want the lasso tool once again to make sure that this is selecting what I want selecting. I could probably just select all, because it would only select on this layer anyway. Now the bell is the important thing, because I don't want to like re-angle or redraw it that much. So the best I can do is just try and line this up and then make the small adjustments. And I've resized that, which is not what I want to do. I want it to be consistent for size. I mean, even with my obsession with line quality and stuff, you have to sometimes just call it at, like, this is suitable enough. I've done a good job, I think, on getting the belt like redone. I just have to make good use of it. I'm seeing smaller errors on this actually now on this belt, which I didn't see when I first drew it. But as I say, I'm gonna have to just accept this for what it is. So that should be good. Okay. I mean, it should move. It's high res, but it's nothing this machine can't handle. I've had much higher res on this machine. Let's see how many savings I have. It's done this now, so anyway, I'm trying to multitask. I'm not multitasking all that well. If I resize this window, I should actually be able to see a bit more of OBS and the kilobits per second, the drop frames, all that. Because I don't need the hugest window there. Like, I've got a web browser up, 2 web browser windows, and I've got OBS like put in the background. I'm just trying to match everything up. Ooh. All these messy bits, like, I could just try and fix that, but I don't really want to. Now, there is one other thing that the ears need copying. I've done them on one of them, or at least in part done them. I'm going to have to copy them as well. Probably doing a lot more copy and pasting here than technically should be art. Right, so I think one thing I can do to kind of get this to fall in place is actually just... I believe we're on a 15 pen size. I'll have to check that. Yes, it's 15. It's just better than like diving into it and then having to resize everything else, which can take a lot of time to just wait for the machine, really, because it's not always the fastest to do that job. I have 314 gold. Now I get the chance to check, and that is something. Just give myself loads more money because I have moderator powers. I don't have time to enter the whole commands out though when I'm trying to do art and stuff as well. It's just a case of you can get so much coins on there. I just don't have time to use them all, especially when I'm streaming, so it easily gives me enough to do what I want to do on here. I shouldn't be doing head bobbling. It's actually affecting my line art. I'm trying to do smooth line art. Okay, that's acceptable. It's not great, but I will be redoing it somewhat. Like, I think that's what I have to remember. If the lines aren't perfect at this point, I can always correct them later. Not so sure how long I'll stream for. I might just do 2 hours. Sorry, my head just is not working today. That's something. I do need to try and get this relatively smooth. Actually, this is for the background line. It's ended up surprisingly smooth. Like that corner is not bad at all, because typically they're all wobbly lines and stuff, which is fine for what's essentially a template. Anyway, if we remove SF3 now, you'll see I've got the leg line, which is important to get this working really. So we're gonna just try and use that as much as I realistically can. I think if I just trace over this almost directly, I can make the corrections later. I think that's what I might have done before, and it worked out quite well for me. Because obviously, there's going to be some pretty dramatic mistakes here. Which is fine if I'm going to redraw the whole thing anyway. Like, what does it matter? What do those mistakes ultimately mean? Anyway, you'll see the reason I'm drawing this is because the skirt goes there. It's like I want to just have this matched up fairly well to where the legs are positioned and everything. And having the legs positioned, it gives me a opportunity to correct this. What I'm noticing is the skirt appears almost to be like angled differently, like that instead of that. So I might be able to just do some pivoting to try and get this better again, but I really don't know, because it seems like something that's going to be a bit more specialised in terms of adjustment. And I don't mind putting some adjustment into it, to be quite honest. I do quite like these shoes. I mean, they're simple, but they work, because they unite the three main colours, which is pink and green and white, respectively, from Cherry Blossoms, because the name is Sakura and everything, so Sakura. Again, it's a Japanese term based on the Japanese phonetics, so I always get confused. I always end up using the more Americanized term, for lack of a better word, which is not actually the correct way to pronounce it. So we've got 46, 46, 46, which actually, it's basically devised off the 23, 23, 23 RGB limit that I had on I had that limit on a television, 23, 23, 23, and below that you just didn't see it. You didn't see the difference, because that couldn't render black all that well, which is why I've used it as a benchmark. I want this to look good on digital displays, and not all digital displays actually render black very well at all. Like, they don't actually, a lot of LCD panels as they are, just due to the technology and the light coming from behind the image, they can't render absolute black. I believe OLED can, because you can actually just outright turn the pixels off so they're not displaying any light, and that's why you can get perfect black. Although on all OLEDs I actually notice a slight purple hue to the display. I mean, maybe my vision is just off, but I don't notice it with other displays, such as the glass LED backlit panel I've got. That's actually really good for black levels for a non-OLED. But yes, all I'm saying is I can see a hue on those OLED displays that I cannot see on others, which are not OLED. So I'm inclined to believe that is not just my vision playing tricks on me, and there is actually a very slight purple hue to them. Either that, or there's a slight like green hue to every other display and I'm not seeing it. The hue is very, very slight. You're not seeing like really obvious, blatant purple if you just glance at the display, but it is there. I mean, maybe it's completely contradicted when you turn the display on, which would explain a lot actually. If it's just something they do for colour balancing, so that when you turn the display on, it's all in balance, because maybe there's a much higher green and red percentage on those displays, so we do it to balance that out and introduce a little more blue. I really don't know. Here's quite interesting with the arm. You'll see it's got like the shoulder pad is actually getting pushed inwards, kind of like that when the arm goes in there. I mean, these are physics I didn't even devise on the character. I was like, it looks cool. I had to kind of add this all in later in a way that kind of makes sense. So we've got that. That can go around like that, and I think... Now I'm going to be one of the first to admit this line art is kind of a mess. Like, if we look at this, it may even be worse than what it came before. Well, probably not, but still. My point is, it is an absolute mess, but I'm fine with that. It's a work in progress. I wouldn't normally be fine with messy line art, but it's a process. So I think what I'll do, I'll try and do like one swift line for all of these. If it doesn't work, then I can correct it. But having one line, it's just so much easier than having multiple lines stitched together. And I mean, I might be wrong, there may be a way to join them pretty easily, but I'm just not going to chance that. Now, if I'm not going with the hair being transparent, that might all be covered up anyway, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is gonna work, but I can adjust it later, as I keep saying. I'm repeating myself too much, I mean, like... The head looks a bit wonky, to be right, if I'm honest. I can like, recurve it, it's not gonna be an issue. So what have I done on the final SF1? Yeah, I've just got the hair covering it up. I mean, okay. I'd rather have the adjustability though, because I need the hair to have some semblance of length being the same. So we've got, yeah, that hair is coming out a lot longer. I'm gonna have to change that for certain. But the swift line that resembles it is now done, which is only going to make things easier on me in the future. At least, yeah, I also have these petals underneath the hair, so even with the hair being mismatched to the other stuff, what's below is there. It is rendered, for lack of a better term. I can actually copy the other bits. What am I doing here? Like, I can copy the eyes. Makes things so much easier by doing that. And I've messed up the mouth. Like, this should be easy to draw, but I'm not having a stable hand at all. I think I turned stabilization off. No, stabilization is on 100. Maybe that was another machine where I turned it off for one reason or another. I know I do have Clip Studio on a laptop as well. I think the version of Clip Studio I've got is actually older than the laptop I'm using it on there, so make of that what you will. Still, it's like Adobe, they would never let me use a software from this age. I mean, if anyone wants a recommendation for Clip Studio Paint, that should be the reason. You get to keep your software if you buy the non-subscription one, and they're not going to try and pull an Adobe and like you own nothing you make. At least I've not had them try and do that to me, as in say, you have created something, you don't own it, we own it. I'm slightly surprised Adobe is still going with all these decisions. So many people, so many companies are making bad decisions now. Even in this government, it's like with these weird ID stuff going on. Like, I don't know what they're thinking really, because it's certainly not going to make them look good in the next election. So I don't know Why would they decide to do that? Control, perhaps? I don't know. I mean, I'm not involved in it, but it's not something that really makes sense to me. I feel like I'm fairly happy with this. Yeah, we'll see that. Did it change? I'm thinking no. I think it was always 314, but my mind was thinking it's on 312. Like, what's going on with that? So I can make a new tab actually for references and stuff. Yeah, that's how crazy my setup is. There's a microphone right here, so I have to look around it to sometimes see stuff. I feel like changing my character. There's no other cheeses at the moment, so I'm going to claim cheese. Oh. I feel like I could add a command that's actually like that. It's avatars cheese. Yeah, I made it, so I'm going to promote it even if it is trash. As a avatar. I made it. You can only get your cheese now at this stream. Although I probably will publish it. I spent little enough time doing it, so if anyone wants a cheese, I might as well publish it for that. I do want to have like a pack of just dumb stuff though that I make. So the cheese would be one of it. I'll probably have a pack with like 3, 4 maybe just dumb stuff I feel like making on a what do you call it? Impulsively make dumb random characters. Could try making a pot of soup. That would just be random. Yeah, I'm thinking of soup because I just made soup for later. I like making all my food. Yeah, you see, there's so much complexity with these vectors. So, yes, there's I actually have these, I think there's like shoulder bones I've added. I didn't add those in other frames, but the good thing is, I can actually copy bits from each frame here. I didn't bother doing that originally, that's why there's no real tail on this character. On this, ears on a lot of the templates, because it's just one of those things. Getting the overall anatomy of the body and the style is important. Things like the ears can be added later. Sorry. Anyway. I think now I can get rid of SF3. Yeah, no eyes, I get that. I have plans. I've got it running actually on YouTube as well. The quality looks kind of crunchy. I mean, there's only so much I can do. I don't know if it's because it's small on the screen and everything. I think it is a bit crunchy, so I could try 4,000 if I'm feeling brave, but I don't know. This internet is conventionally very weak, so I feel I don't go over 3,500. That is also, I think, the lower recommended for YouTube, so it's not like I'm breaking the rules or anything. 2,500, it's like, I had to use it because my internet is very weak, but I tried 3,500, that's working for now. I mean, it might not work forever. Yeah, so I just used a massive brush there to try and save me some time. Not sure if it will have worked. Yeah, it has. You see here, already I can see ways I can massively, like, just improve the shape here. Make it look a lot more natural, because it just doesn't work. Like, I basically tried to match the trace layer, but it doesn't have to exactly do that. That's a template, essentially. That exists to turn the original into Sakura, so then I can re-render everything at a much higher quality. Again, the mouth with loads of vector points here. I find it can actually help to just turn that reference layer off, because if you see there, Like, the mouth doesn't line up exactly, but it's not really going to matter. The thing is, animation flies past. So yeah, I may even go with in-betweens, but I don't know. Here's me thinking about adding in-betweens, and it's just not going to work for everything. Let's try readjusting these headphones. So, alright, so we're on the overlay, I think? No, we're not on the overlay. I copy and pasted that. So SF2 final, that can exist, but exist like in a much more transparent way. I don't think that. I think because it's a thinner line art, I can go a little less transparent. Actually, the same, to be honest. But still, I mean, it's not the same as like using onion skins and everything, but that's typically if you're like drawing the animation from scratch, which I am not doing. I will have to put them together later, but yes. I think there's some fancy frame timing as well on the final image, but as long as I have the base images, I can do that all later. Like, I probably won't be doing that in Clip Studio, because I think, if I recall correctly, Clip Studio maxes out at 1080p, commonly referred to as full HD resolution, but I can work it much higher. YouTube currently even supports 8K, if nothing higher than that, so I can use that. 8K, I think the only browser I've used is Firefox that actually supports 8K video. I believe Safari does also, but I don't use Apple computers, so I wouldn't be able to confirm that. But I have got Firefox open and it has loaded 8K. Not much is in 8K, but I like to future-proof my work. Yeah, I am cheese. Just realised that looks such a mess. I've got my cable there, but it's stretched way to the back of the system, like way over there, and goes into here. So there's only so much you can do with the cable. It's out of the way for me, so even if it looks like it's a mess on camera, it really isn't an issue. There is my Apple keyboard, which I use on Windows. Apple keyboards, they were not always flat. I've got a keyboard from 2007, which was like the last good keyboard Apple made, in my opinion. I've probably said that before. Ah, so yes, the way the belt has gone, it has made that taller. So we go SF3. So what I'm seeing, I think I can move that out of the way. Now the good thing about copying and pasting this is it's already like somewhat optimized for overall line thickness. I think I need to get rid of these glasses. There's just too much going on my head. And it starts to hurt with all that stuff going on. It's a lot better now without the glasses. I can see just fine. It's just like they're what I need for distance vision. So that's the thing. So we have this. I'm gonna have to try and check this later, honestly, but I feel like the overall points should be similar. Okay, I've apparently grabbed two there. So what have we got here? I feel like that needs to be more straight just because of the way it's drooping. It's going to be a lot more like, got a lot less forced that way. Another way of tweaking this is I can actually use these points and just drag them in a different way. So we've got these lines. So if we look at this from like a logical standpoint, like that's going to be pushed up by the leg. So, you know, it's going to have to somewhat lay over this leg which we've got here, which I should actually readjust because if it's so important, then we should really sort that out. So there we go. I mean, that should work well enough. So there we go. My GPU is nice and toasty. We always like a hot GPU. Although, probably shouldn't, given that's not good for them. Yeah, I mean, I might try reapplying thermal paste. I think I've said that a million times. It's all about when I get the PC open, though. Yeah. My nose is terrible today, and I don't have any way to unplug it. I did have some stuff around. There we go. Okay. Gonna need to... because I'm too humiliated to do this on camera. And I have returned, because we have now got a clear nose and I can art again. I don't know if that's going to work. But it does now match physics. Now, as I designed it, the skirt is actually just above the knee, like that's where it goes, so we kind of want that to happen, but probably no longer than the knee, given that the overall physics are happening this way. So I think like there, like it's going to be above the knee, but not by a lot. I just have to try and bear in mind how the overall physics of it works and probably get the YouTube window back up. So we've got that. I'm seeing this now. So the belt is definitely different to what it was. I can't believe this. Like, I was just letting this too much, letting this like fall too much to chance, for lack of a better term. So yeah, I mean, trying to find the right height for this. So this is going to be, I believe, a little it's going to be a little larger than it was on the other frame, just because of how everything moves. Okay, I think it's beginning to fall into place. You know what? I think I can actually use that layer as a kind of template. Like, I may have to make fine changes later on, but for now, it's probably about right. Gonna have to trim this. I should really be using my key dial. mean, I probably shouldn't be following these baselines like they're a law or anything, because they are literally just there to guide me. They're not there to completely replicate. But I'm going to try and do what I can. I think the key thing is not spending too long on what might ultimately be a temporary line that might be changed quite significantly. I feel like as long as it's like fairly well matched up, it doesn't have to be exact. I also want a kind of similar number of pleats, I believe. I'm probably using the complete ones, but anyway. Yeah, so that works. I've actually programmed a right click on there. I should be using it because it makes everything a lot easier if I do, so I don't have to keep going over to the mouse. As much as I like using my mouse, it's not always the best option. So, I mean, I said about following it, I don't know, like that does seem a lot of distance. But I am kind of seeing where this is going. I feel like, okay, if I get rid of everything in the, well, not get rid of, if I just move everything in the middle to the side, hopefully this will help, because again, I think I did this on the last layer. I just have point to point. And then when I have the point to point, it's going to make it easier to get this whole flow going. So there we go. I feel like maybe that's actually correct in that it's also, it is harder like plasticky stuff according to the law I invented, so it's not going to necessarily be like right close to the leg. It may actually have a bit of distance like on my template layer. So that's what I'm going to try. So I can, for now, get rid of S3, maybe? No. Okay, I need a middle point to just show where the overall height of the line is going, and that should be good. So then we need SF2, with the semi-transparent nature to it, to... They are all vector lines as well, that's how I resized them from like 480p to 32k, and it didn't work perfectly, but it does still give me a baseline I can use to redraw the whole thing. So here I'm seeing, okay, so what have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 I think. So we've got 17 there. We're going to need 17 here theoretically. Now if any of these are going to be somewhat wider, I'd think it would be the ones up here, because that's where it's kind of getting stretched, and it's getting like, there's going to be less on the other side, so you know, you see there it's like there's some ones there, they'll be like the same ones but stretched out somewhat. Okay, so we can split this line. You see, now I'm using the key dial. got my delete key, I've got my right click. It's just so much easier. But my mind is just not programmed to use a key dial. It's programmed to use a mouse. Not helped by the fact that I am sometimes working on things on my laptop, and my laptop is just a mouse and the like lower touch screen which I use, which is, it's literally just a lower touch screen, but it also has a pen, so it actually makes a pretty good graphics drawing tablet. I didn't realise that when I bought it, but it's the same as the 8-inch Samsung tablet I've got, which actually got here. I'm also dropping it all over the place. It's tough, it doesn't matter. Anyway, this, I actually just bought it because it's got a removable battery, and I thought, that's an interesting idea. I could probably keep it for a while because the battery won't be going on me. Pen. Ibis paint. I actually did a lot of drawing on it. Not something I was originally expecting to do, but still. You know, when you have these devices, and they actually have pretty good capabilities, I feel like you just end up using them for stuff, even if it was never the original intent. Back in my younger years, there was no such thing as Android tablets. A lot of people would just work offline on paper, because that was what there was back then. There was the digital program, was Photoshop, but then that was before Adobe became evil. In the 2000s, you could actually buy Adobe Photoshop and use it for as long as you wanted. Can you imagine that from Adobe of all companies? So from what I'm seeing here, yes, it should really go a little out like that. My performance metrics working. I'm gonna check. Yeah, it's just like finally seeing this on the AMD software. I'm seeing how hot the video card is running. Now I know it's a very tight case, but I'm not sure if I can see the CPU thermals. It shows if it's thermal throttling or not. 53 degrees is right there. So you see, that's what I mean. The CPU is a lot lower temperature. Now it could just be that the cooling on the video card is either set for like overall power efficiency or just silence, but not outright cooling. I mean, it is going down for temp, so I'm just assuming it's set that way to run hot. There is always the opportunity to undervolt it, which I believe is supposed to be pretty decent on AMD GPUs, not completely destroying the performance as it may on other cards out there. This is actually a video card. It's from 2016. It's a workstation card designed for smaller workstations, and it's actually got an architecture, GPU architecture that was used until 2020 in one laptop chip. Like, that was the last one that used it. And then naturally they would have manufactured it a little after that, but the last new GPU was 2020. Actually reminds me of the Socket 775 machines I so love, that The Socket 775, it came about in 2004 for the Pentium 4s, and it allowed DDR2 RAM and other stuff which the older 478 socket couldn't. And it actually lasted until 2010. There was no fully new CPU architectures released on it, but they did have a Pentium, and a few Pentiums and a few Celerons actually, that were made in 2010 and launched in 2010 for that socket from 2004. I even have one, it's pretty good. Should overclock as well, because the front speed bus is lower than the equivalent Core 2 Duo at the same clock speed, so should be a surprisingly good CPU to overclock, should I want to give that a go at some point. I do have a good board, but I think the BIOS is still from 2008. Yeah, it's basically, I think they called it 6700, E6700 if I remember correctly, and it's basically a Core 2 Duo E6800, no, it's a 6600, sorry, mine is, and it's basically a Core 2 Duo E6600 or something like that, and just with cache cut off, but it's also got the lower front speed bus for the same clock speed. Point being, you can theoretically improve that front speed bus speed up to the same as a Core 2 Duo, and no wattage changes, no voltage changes or anything like that, and just theoretically get a higher clock speed. It interests me for certain. Because, as I say, it's very similar to the Core 2 Duo, but it's just the clocks are totally different, so they set up. I mean, it could be a better architecture, but from the specs I was seeing, it looks the same, but just configured differently. There was also Core 2 Quads around about 2009, which I would like one of them. They actually made a few Core 2 Quads, and they use the same wattage as a Core 2 Duo, while providing full-out Core 2 Quad performance. Like, I feel that's my dream 775 CPU, but it is exactly that, it's a dream. It's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Now I'm confused. So we've got that. Would that be... Phones are giving me some notifications by the looks of it. So time is at 48. Probably been streaming for like 45 minutes or so. No, 48 minutes it says. I was kind of on time. It did say it was at the hour when I started streaming. That's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. The more I think of this though, the more I feel like you should really emphasize the size of this on the lower down end. Actually, it looks even more like a petal when I do that. Of that kind of shape, which I like. The whole design was inspired by petals in some way, shape or form. I think I'm beginning to think that's not even correct. So if we go drag that down. There we go. Try pivoting that. I'm not so sure about this. One thing I can say though, So what we've got is... I think I see one thing I'm doing wrong. That it's supposed to curve that way. It is not really curving that way. It's curving like the other way, and that just doesn't line up with the previous frame at all. Like, normally this stuff wouldn't matter if I'm drawing a Sakura image because it would just be a still image and it wouldn't be animated or anything. This is animated, so it's going to be animated. I do feel though, despite all the effort, this will look good when it's done. There we go. I can definitely see the logic, but maybe if I do this, so basically keep the start point, but curve that around like so. Now that is just an idea I've got. So that will do for now. I'm checking my performance metrics. So in use, 61 gigabytes. How is it using that much? I know I've got the RAM. How is it using 61 or is it 62 gigabytes? That's like half my memory. Wow, technically I've got 128, so 64 I think would be half it. It's not quite using half. But this is a lot of memory. Many laptops, good laptops only have 32. Mine certainly only has 32. Of course, there's no end of issues when I'm trying to do this kind of crazy stuff. Although I love the thing. Even with the spec not being what this is. That doesn't make sense. Where's the logic behind how that is falling? So I'll bring back the SF3 for a moment. Okay, it's falling about where it should be, in a way. Yeah, that's almost exactly where it should fall, given the nature. So I'm kind of fumbling about and not really making sense of things, but it's working. In some sense of the word. So, right click, split line, delete. Oh, I deleted the wrong thing. I deleted that line, not the one I was trying to delete.
things that I can't even say. Trying to make up my day. God, it's so hard to regulate till I met her yesterday. I'm the dirt and you the purifier. I'm the gasoline bar, you the fire. Keep it in the DL, no inquire. Which makes me wanna talk like it's quiet. I don't wanna push, I don't want to entire. Buy any juice from gold to sapphire. Crack some jokes, sometimes satire. We'll be careful enough to get the tip tight. Make sure I take it higher. When we have a baby, we need to try it. That's what makes me most inspired. Hope same goes with you, baby girl.
Okay, I'm beginning to get the flow of where the lines go in this, so... I still need to redo V2 as well. Because in a way I've got V1, V2 and V3, but they all got gradually more dramatic and over the top, and like no one's going to wear this crazy outfit every day, so that's why I need V2 to be more of a somewhat normal outfit. Because I don't hate the older versions of Sakura, the older designs. They have their uses, it's just I like making complicated character designs. And Sakura has ultimately become a victim of my love for complicated character designs. I say that, there are far, far more complicated character designs, somehow. So again, we can use that as somewhat of a benchmark for where stuff is falling, which is about growth. Because you see here, on this template one, we'll see it's kind of dropping down in a way that actually makes sense. So as much as I don't want to copy it exactly, I can learn some things from it. Control C and Control V, and I do need to save actually. I almost hit save by accident, but I should hit save intentionally. Actually, I'll go save as... I don't know if I saved it to the 480 before, but I'm going to save it to the 480 drive because I feel like it. Yes, I can use the pen to save, which is brilliant. Yeah, I've got my wet floor sign. 2022. Wow, that was so long ago. Stream avatars, it's not going in there. I don't feel like I have a file for this. So it would be, yeah, I do actually have a file. And I have this saved in it. Don't want to make duplicates. Takes up space. Don't want to just waste space. Still got really high RAM usage, and I'm not sure why that is. Is it just because I've got loads of images here, even if low-res ones, which Clip Studio doesn't like? I mean, I tried putting high-res images, it just slows the whole program down. This, it's like 480p images, I think that's why it's able to handle them. But still, I just don't know. I mean, maybe it's because I've added so many layers, and I'm using them all, or attempting to use them all in some sense. I feel like this song was already played. There we go. I'm honestly not so sure this is working as I want it to, but I'll take it. There should be loads of vector points on this one, wherever it is that I used. Yeah, there it is. I'm going to have to change that later. So, move that around a little. So, Control C and Control V. I feel like this is maybe a little better. No. It's going to save as because I hit that key. I do not want to save as. Wow, we're an hour in already. Doesn't feel that long. Honestly, it's just having fun here. Even if it's probably the most boring thing to watch, but I'm just enjoying the overall way everything's falling together. Because, you know, this frame didn't exist before this stream. And now I've actually reduced these vector points. I believe I've mentioned before, this uses a Hatsune Miku image, animation, whatever, as the basis, and then I'm just trying to turn it into Sakura. You know what? Sure, actually. I've just had I'm gonna, because I mentioned it, avatars Miku. I'm gonna make my avatar a Miku. I actually did it quite quickly, surprisingly enough, after I hit enter. I know, it'll probably look odd now since it's going to take time for the stream to catch up and everything, but still. Again, you see this is like, I think that's the template I'm using. It's just so off. I know, that's a different template to the one I'm using. That's not even a template, that's the final piece of the animation. Oh well. You see, it's like, I can just tell typically when something looks off. I think most people can, it's just trying to draw things is a hard thing. Like, you can sometimes tell if something just looks a little off, but how to correct it is a hard thing. Like, I spent so long, I couldn't rotate a character because I just didn't know anything about it. Because things move in ways you don't expect them to. Nothing I do is talent, it is all just work, a lot of work, and a lot of practice. No part of it is talent. Performance metrics is just me being obsessive and being a nerd. But anyway, me being a nerd has advantages because no one can say I don't know about technology when I literally have all of the metrics showing what's going on with my PC in the stream itself. Because I know certain people into this whole AI business know, you know, they insult people by saying that kind of thing. Chances are they don't have performance metrics. So, what have we got here then? I'm quite liking the way it falls now. It looks okay. Interesting. So that's definitely curved out more in a different way. You know what? I'm gonna go into lean into that. There we go. Now I feel like, having looked at this now, I feel like I'll go back to where it was. I just feel like I made it worse by trying to copy the template. Like, I could need to make it out a little more, but I definitely went too far by outright copying that. There we go. Not ideal, but still. So again, if we get rid of that, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 is basically what we have to try and get in terms of the number of, pieces. Yeah, so I'm going to have to try and get this right, because this will make it the whole thing a lot easier. So we need 18 pieces. So that's the leg, that doesn't ultimately matter as one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know, like that's never going to have as many pieces. Is it actually 18 or am I miscounting? Okay, so it's 18 with a few tiny ones on the end. What's the main bulk of it? $14. So it's 14 there. I think I can correct this though. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 so far, by the looks of it. I can get 14 and then just try and add little bits here and there to make it feel more complete. I do also feel like going to the middle, I could maybe space this out a little more. Or maybe not. Maybe move this up a little. So we've got 18. No, we've got 18 in total. We need to try and continue. As I say, it doesn't have to be the exact same number, but we have to kind of keep a certain level of continuity between the frames. I do like having my own avatars though. It's fun because it ties into the whole lore of the channel I've got going. Like Sakura being the moderator and having her own avatar. Like as a character, I quite like the idea. I do have to make some other character avatars, but it does take a bit of time. I mean, I can do it in like 6 days at a push, but that means I can't work on anything else in those 6 days. Which is kind of an issue for me. I struggle to focus on one thing at a time. Like, I do get finished pieces. It takes time, though. Like, there is problems with that Sakura avatar I've got. It's not the highest quality. It does kind of match my style though, which is important. And I could do so much better. You can see it's very juddery. I imagine if I did Aurella, for example, or Norman, or Toko, is it? I think Toko is how you spell it. If I did one of them, it would probably be an improved version of the design, more frames, just generally better done. But for now, I have Sakura, and she is a character in stream avatars now, which is something. I'd probably do her a better model as well, like that's a thing. Or just evolve that model that exists. Like, the resolution is not high, it's like 144 by 144. Creating a character in that resolution with that kind of complexity is hard. I mean, there's even missing details on that one. It's like, as you'll see, there is... Actually, I can add that in. But there's like a line there. I just couldn't fit that in because there was no way. There was no way of getting this to properly work. This is actually something I've heard before. Because it's, I know Wheon did a cover, which is basically this not Chinese, this Korean vocalist. Very good. I feel like her version was better, but then that's the same for anything she covers. It's just one of those things no one seems to know outside of Korea, but it's genuinely just brilliant. Incredibly talented vocals. So if I do this, now I'm seeing what I'm doing wrong. So we kind of want this to stay lower instead of going up like it does, like the line does before. So what we've got is sorry, I should be talking, but my mind is just so focused on this. Hyperfixation, I guess. Don't know, that's ADHD thing that I've got, but yeah, I'm like so caught up in this now. I mean, I will check the other stuff going on, but for now I'm just so caught up with it. Okay. Yeah, everything's good. 1 hour 16 in. I do not know how many I've got here. It does seem to like stretch out the more left you go, which is actually how it should look. I'm going to need another control point here to make it work. I'm definitely going to need to add vector points because this is just not enough. For now though, I believe I did simplify the whole arrangement of line art here. So if I go like this, okay, I'm fairly happy with this now. It's not finished, and I can't pretend it is, but still. So if we remove the layer there, okay. There was that one thing I had to do, like copying the eyes. I feel this is okay. I need like 14 here, maybe a few extra on the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. So we've got the right number. Like I was getting halfway through this and I was thinking, this is never going to be enough. It is actually. And you see it's more tightened up there, which actually makes perfect sense given that that leg is pushing out and that's going to like drag everything towards that direction. I don't know how it will animate. I mean, that I could probably just leave as is and it would look okay. But you see, all these lines here, they're a bit of a mess, really. It's fine as you go up here, but these lines are a little bit of a mess. I'll have to tidy that up. I can do that off stream, though. Like, I've designed the whole skirt in its majority. I just have to correct a few of the other bits. So we'll go SF2 final. So what we've got here, I'm going to need to copy this stuff, but it's locked. So we'll lock 3 for now, go to SF2, change the opacity. I've just thought, maybe I could copy like the entire thing, the eyelashes as well. Anything to save me a bit of work. So we'll go Control C, If you use the lasso tool, it does make a new layer. If you don't use the lasso tool and you just copy the vectors, it will not make a new layer. So we'll go Control V, that will bring them over. I mean, I can move the middle of the eyes and stuff if it looks like it's unnaturally staring at the camera. So if I move these two, just to try and keep some sense of consistency really. So we've got that. Okay, so all I have to do is make that visible. And it's deselected what I had. Not what I want it to happen, but I can redo it, it's fine. Interesting. They don't seem to quite line up. Maybe, okay, I'm getting close here. For now, I'll set it there. I can still change it. That's not the end of the world. So try and line them up. So we've got this, like, I need this kind of hairline to look more natural and flowing, which the reason I kind of went with this shape, it's actually like the base of a petal. Yes, I did go that far with the association to a character item. Anyway, we have yeah, so that's like curved as if it's the base of a petal. And then we also have, yeah, that can be reshapen. We also have the, where was it? Ah, we have these hair pieces that go down here. They're supposed to like look vaguely like a petal as well. You know, it's just, I had an item to use as reference and then the character just fell into place. The other versions, I didn't really know what I was doing too much, but basically I had the petal skirt type thing on V2. V3, I just made everything far, far more extreme. But it's one of those things, I mean, you say, as much as I like V3 a lot more than the previous versions, V3 could not exist if I didn't first design V2. Because V2, I created it, it was okay, but V3 was really just the need to improve on what was a design that was okay, but missing quite a few smaller details. Because it's like the top part of the V2, it was very plain, like this part, it was just like very plain, nothing going on whatsoever. So then I had V3 and it had the shoulder pads and everything, and these petal things here to add detail in the kind of middle of the character. All these details were not there in V2, and I think they made the the character so much more complete. I mean, I think it's because I've been playing Forza earlier, I just think about cars. It was fun playing Forza. My pedals and wheel I don't think are still set up correctly though. It's like the overall the dead zone of the pedals and wheel. It means I'm either not getting complete braking or not getting complete acceleration or something, and I can't use the power. But that's a story for another day. But it is fun to drive with the wheel. It's not a new wheel, it's something I've had for a while but just not used more recently. For some reason my head also defaulted to putting the shifter on the right hand side of the wheel, even though I'm in the UK and it's anything other than an import has it on the left. Even some imports do as well. So we'll go right click. No, we need to delete control point, not delete the whole thing. Ag. So delete control point. I don't know when I'll finish this. If I can do 2 hours, I'll try, because even if no one's watching, it like gives me that extra work on the these. Okay, reconnection. I don't know why it's doing this, it's just disconnecting at times, completely randomly. I was still getting internet, I believe. It was certainly playing the music just fine. Although that could have preloaded itself in. But still. The hair. I do want to fix the hair. After I've just tweaked these petals a bit to have a smoother look. I would say more natural. I don't think petals are like this naturally, like this smooth, but I do like the look of just having really really soft, smooth curves and everything. Like, you can have sharp angles and they can work. Sharp angles aren't something I do all that well. I can do it on hair, but that's about it. I'm getting a jelly bean shape, it seems. Completely unintentional, but it looks like a jelly bean. So the hair, that's what I was saying. The hair has just like suddenly got longer. I mean, there is hair at the back. It's like, and you betcha I made the hair resemble the other side of a petal. So like that side, and then the hair at the back, it's like the longer edge that goes to more to a point. Yeah, I did that because of course I would do that. So we've got SF2. So we go to 25, which I had it on before. So we've got 100 transparency on it, or not transparency, should I say. 100% visibility, which is not transparent at all, which is what I want. But you can still see through the line art. There is hair. Okay. From what I'm seeing here, the body is like moving that way. So the hair should kind of move that way, like that. I think I mentioned this before with the skirt. It's like just the movement of the body will affect how that moves. And for smooth animation, that is actually one thing you really need. If I had in-betweens, I'll have to consider in-betweens, but it ultimately depends how easy it is to do. If it's hard, I'm probably not going to bother. Because I've not just got Sakura to do, I've got other characters as well. Sakura's skirt might be a pain to get right, or Ella's hair is even more of a pain. Like really long hair. That is not easy. So I feel like what we need here, we need the hair kind of wanting to stay still, but getting dragged across. That's the best way I can describe it. By just a sudden movement of the head. So that's the kind of thing I want going on. It's like, you know, the hair, we see where it was and we see where it's going because of that. And then if the body was to suddenly go like that and then like that again, the hair would kind of get dragged back as the head moves again that way. It's physics I can't really explain, but that's just how these things generally go. I mean, it's like if you throw something, theoretically, your hand stays in the same position, but the item moves because of the forces acting on it. So, about 30 minutes to go if I go for 2 hours, which I think I will. I've got my soup ready for when I just want to microwave it, so it's not like I have to rush to get that cooked or anything. So there we go. This is why I like to keep that stuff behind, because the hair is obviously not going to take up the same space that I originally perceived it would. So we'll go, can delete a few of these control points, that are just not necessary. See, like, I'm making quite good effective use of the key dial, now I've actually got my hand off the mouse. It's just the issue is, I often use them, like, I can use the mouse with this hand, but I commonly just end up using it with that, which is also the pen hand, so, you know, it's a little odd for me to use in my left hand, but I can do it. I am capable of it. And there are certain cases where you may want to, but I'm not very precise that way at all. Like, if I just want to browse the internet with my left-handed mouse, I can do that. I wouldn't want to do drawing corrections with it though, because that hand is just not as precise as my right one at all. I think I started using dual mice when I was like, before I was even 18. It was a long time ago. I also kind of had an obsession with Core 2 Duos before I was 18. I mean, that just hasn't changed. I feel, I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older, but I actually have more of an appreciation for the lower end processors like the Core i3s, for example, versus the Core i5s. Like, everyone back in the day wanted an i7 probably, which was one of the quad core processors. But as time has come and gone, I actually kind of prefer the i3s because they are hyper-threaded dual cores. They're going to use less power because you're not pulling a full 4 cores, even if they're technically worse for gaming on. I feel like they've just win for efficiency. Now, one thing I'm seeing here, I've not actually moved this inner line. Like, that's going to move. If you are having the whole hair move, and this is going to move with it. I do feel they kind of look like dog ears, which is a coincidence strictly of trying to make them look like petals. I mean, certain things in nature repeat themselves. So, you know, you see certain things from one animal appearing on another animal. Pretty sure some dogs have ears that are like cat ears. Okay, so again, it's a little jarry, not jarry, like jittery, it just doesn't quite look smooth. I can correct that off stream. So I'm not too worried about it, but as you'll see, just this feeling of motion I think I have improved. I think it looks more like the hair is actually moving now. So this is flowing like that. I don't know if that's correct, like probably not. I have to try and get this working. So this is doing what it's supposed to. I'll just hide that, yeah. So the hair is already like going that way quite a bit. So this is going to have to be even more harsh on this side. As in like going right in front of your eyes. I do kind of want to do the fancy hypnotic eyes. I also like hiding Easter eggs in the middle here. Like, just something that you typically wouldn't see unless you like zoom right in on the image. But I just like hiding little pictures there. I gave Kitchen Sponge Charm the silhouette of a kitchen sponge on one time. I've not drawn her, I don't think, like that since. It takes time to add these little things, and you have to finally adjust the colour so it's like just about visible if you zoom in, but I think it's well worth it, because I do like the look of it. I do think it's something very interesting that I can do. Anyone can really do it if you have a decent resolution image. The original image of Kitchen Sponge Charm I managed to do it on, that was only basically 4K plus a few extra horizontal pixels, which most devices nowadays could manage. I mean, I like working a lot higher, but you don't need insanely high resolution to try that kind of Easter egg. You just need something that's got, I guess, not the bit rate, but the overall image quality to handle it, as in, you know, saved to a decent enough quality. Not, obviously not like super compressed to a .gif when you've got an animation or something that really is too long to work as a GIF. Delete control point. We'll go delete control point. Delete control point. So we've got that hair. I am getting somewhere with this, I feel. Yeah, so we see there, it's going over the face. Here, I wanted to go over the face even more. Which is maybe a bit extreme, but so is the movement we're talking about. This is, yeah, going right over the mouth here. Which is actually the same on all these frames. I could try and even make the mouth more complicated, but as I say, I'm trying to make a somewhat faithful recreation to the original. I mean, it's not going to be in the 4:3 aspect ratio, just because no one really uses that for video anymore. As much as I like the 4:3 aspect ratio, I feel so many modern devices are perhaps even wider than 16:9, but basically all the televisions you can buy today are 16:9 aspect ratio. I did actually have one LCD panel once. It was 16:10 aspect ratio, which I found a bit odd for a television, because I don't think television has ever been broadcast in 16:10 aspect ratio. I think it was broadcast in 4:3, and then it was basically broadcast in 16:9 after that, but there was also perhaps this middle zone where you get just straight off the cinema wheel 21:9 ultra wide. Like there's a few movie films, whatever you call them, that have been released in that way. I feel like a lot of westerns as well, which didn't actually have television or VHS releases maybe will have just been published in that aspect ratio because it's the correct aspect ratio for the production. And that's just what theatres generally used in the 1950s, maybe 60s, before home video was that much of a thing. Yeah, that was the kind of goofy arm I did, which just didn't look great. So we've got hopefully this is looking somewhat reasonable. I mean, you know, I've made the hair even more extreme than the template I had. If I'll just get rid of that so you can see it better. Yeah. But I mean, you can see like that part better. So it's not all the end of it because you can actually kind of see how everything's moving. Like, there's a lot of hair here to deal with. Perhaps it reflects my dream to have longer hair. But nature does not want me to have my hair any longer than it already is. Oh, gosh darn it. I need to be careful. So hopefully yeah, I'm kind of liking this as it forms. I mean, again, I can try so hard later on to just perfect every tiny detail. For now, I'm just trying to get the image done. If I can get this frame like basically done other than a few minor corrections today, I'll be pretty happy with that result. Because before I started streaming, this frame didn't exist at all. So I feel I'm doing okay. And I also have my Sakura on the screen, so at least that gives you an idea where the colour's going, you know? So in that regard, yeah, it's not been a waste at all creating that stream avatar because it gives you an idea of the kind of thing I'm going for with this animation. Even if that is significantly lower quality than the final resulting piece. I mean, that's fine, it doesn't have to be particularly high quality. It's just basically so if people want to become Sakura, if they can, also so that the Sakura bot works as canonically. I mean, the thing is, not everyone will have a bot that's actually on the screen, but it ties into the lore, I think, quite nicely. And you can also do Battle Royale and everything with Sakura. You know, I quite like it. Yeah, so I think I need to make that a bit less curved. So looking about just over 10 minutes left. Again, we can go back to the legs. Okay, that's fine. I believe I did a little bit of correction here. Now, one thing I can change here is the shoes. Like, I know they were off on the overall template I created. I just wanted to get something out here that like looks like shoes. So we got something that looks like shoes vaguely, which I can now correct and make look kind of even more like shoes. So we've got to... No, don't delete the whole thing. We're just trying to delete the additional control point. Oh, that's something. I'm sure I like that. I keep grabbing the wrong thing. So go delete that control point. Do I have a I do actually have a paper layer. Just thinking, if I could do this, it will actually show my line art better. It's kind of in my face over white. I might have to add like a grey layer or something too. So it's not like really in my face, but it's just shows the image somewhat, because for we as bathroom tiles, yeah, for lack of a better term, the bathroom tiles, they didn't hurt my eyes, but they were completely different in terms of what they are. Feel like finishing this soon. For now. I mean, I don't know. I'll probably return at some point to stream again. And I will do some more just generally designing it. Oh dear. A switched corner, I think that's it. Split line. So move that down. Don't need them. I could probably delete all that. Let's see if I've made money while I'm just doing this. Just imagine gambling it around. No one can see me. Quick, put it all in the slots. Yeah, these shoulder pads, they are kind of over the top. That's exactly why I like them. How far can I push the other style before it is my style? Yeah, I added that. I'm beginning to think I won't even need it because it's just going to be covered by hair. And I'm not thinking of making a transparency thing here. Like, I have done it before, it's just, it takes time for me to actually do somewhat transparent hair in the way I'm happy with it. Yeah, I did add hair movement on the avatar. Not very good hair movement, but it's got it. So we've got, I would say add a sharper corner, but I'm going to just trim this whole bit anyway and you won't see it. Try and make that connect properly. Ah, the feet. Not much of feet, but yes. They need to just be finished off a little better because they're looking very rough at the moment. Like, I could smoothen off the whole design and it'll just look better. I do think I'll make the actual, this kind of part, which I call the sole of the shoe, a little, smaller. But mainly the thing here is getting it smoother. So we'll go, split line. As I say, I will be finishing very soon. Yeah. I've only got 5 minutes before it turns 2 hours. I mean, I could try adding another vector point or two here, because try and use my time wisely. See, that looks better already. I feel like all this time I'm fixing so much, just in a tiny amount of time. There are some things with these lines, just these higher up lines here, so that being on the very edge, it's not going to be that big if it's done properly. Okay, I'm kind of happier with that now than I was, but still not particularly happy with it. As I say, this whole thing will probably be tweaked just to make it look good. So there we go. I can definitely see improvement here though, even if it's tiny. Over like where it stood before. I'm noticing a curve appearing as well, but I don't hate it. It actually makes it look a bit more three-dimensional than it was. Because it looked really flat like that. That looks like it's actually got some curvature to it. Out towards the camera, or viewer I guess, since there's no camera. I mean, what else? I could try adjusting this mouth. Because it just looks very wonky and not natural at all. And we're just generally bumpy. Should be a nice smooth curve. Same here. Can do some little things just to make it look a lot better. Can probably remove that actually. Because that control point isn't really doing anything. It didn't tell me my currency. I don't know what's going on there. I'm probably entering it wrong. No, I entered it the same all 3 times. I don't know. Maybe Stream Avatars has gone a bit iffy. At least I know my Sakura command works. Ah. I'll have to do something about this, I guess, because I just realised that isn't actually fitting all that well. Anyway, I think that's about all I got for today. Can I just adjust that? Yeah, anyway, that'll be what I do for now. Ah, now it's telling me our currency. And I have got Witcher. Anyway, so this will be what we have for today. So I'll leave it here.